Good evening, everyone. We are at Sefer Yehoshua, Kapitel Yud Gimel. We are at Pasuk Zayin. We're learning from the beginning of Kapitel Yud Gimel. We're going into, we said it's one unit from the beginning of the Perek Aleph till Pasuk Zayin that teaches us the Chalukah of Eretz Yisrael. And then what we finished Pasuk Vav, Kol Yosh V'Omin Al-Von Al-Misach V'Yisrael Kol Sidonim Anoichi Rishim Pnei Bnei Yisrael Rak Hapileho B'Yisrael B'Nachlo Ka'asher Tzivisicha. Right, and that's the Rak Hapileo. He said, what's this notion of Rak Hapileo? Right, the notion. So we saw that many times we find the notion of Neufel, Legabe Chalukas Eretz Yisrael. Right, there's the notion Hapileo. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Yehoshua bin Nun Hapileo to be mapilo goyrol. Right, it's a goyrol or you mapilim. We got many psukim in Tanakh. What we saw when we talk about goyrolos is also your mapil goyrolos. Ve'ato. Pasuk Zayin. Ve'ato. Chalik es haaretz hazois benachalo letishas hashvotim v'chatzi hashevet amenashe. So what we're learning over here in the Ato Chalik, now he doesn't tell us, is Michael just spoke out. He doesn't tell us the names of the Chalukah, of the names of the people. Later on, we will see in Kapitel Yudalit, we will see more, the Psukim elaborate a little bit more. What's the size and who's the people who get them exactly? As we find many times in the Psukim, that first the Pasuk says something, and then we start to go into the Psukim. And that's what he says, Ve'ato Chalek. What's the Chalek? Es haaretz hazois. What's the haaretz hazois? This Eretz Canaan, as we said, including, as we saw last week on the map, the Oretz HaNisheres, what we call the Oretz HaNisheres, and B'chatzi Shevet HaMenashe. Now, what's the Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, what we mentioned over here? Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe. Because Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, we know that over here, Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe is the other half, got the Eivei HaYarden. Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, the Eivei HaYarden, that's in the west, right? That in the east. Now, the one in the west, the other Chatzi Shevet, they got together with Reuven and Gad. As we can see, the next pasuk, that's the next pasuk that teaches us that Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe got already with the other thing. Pasuk Tes. Imoy, sorry, Pasuk Ches. Imoy HaReuveni ve'Agodi, together with Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, who is HaReuveni ve'Agodi, Lokhu Nachalosom, Asher Nosan Lo Moshe Be'Eivei HaYarden Mizrocha, Kasher Nosan Lo Moshe Eved Hashem. This is already, as we said, this is the Hemshech, that's what we spoke before. This is the Reuveni, Imoy, together with the Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, that's an Eivei HaYarden, in the Mizrocha, what we said now. That already, they got already the Nachlos. The Nachlos, right? Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe. Now, Be'emes, if you look at the pasuk, Imoy, Reuveni ve'Agodi lokhu nachalosom, asher nosan lohem Moshe. They got already this when they got it. They got it from Moshe Rabbeinu already. They got it, and that's what's called what we dividing over here, the Nachlos of Eretz Yisrael. So that's Imoy. What's Imoy? Together with the Reuveni and with the Godi, the Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe. Now some say that for here we have to read Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe like twice. Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, and then Imoy, that means the Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, again, the second time, once, right, with Shevet HaGodi and Shevet HaReuveni. This is what's called Seder Shenechlak. What we say the Shenechlak? So the Gon brings an example from over here. The Gon says this is one of the Lamed Beis Midos. That means Lamed Beis Midos of Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Right, as we said before, and the Avim go on the pasuk afterwards. So we have many times the Seder Shenechlak that it goes on the pasuk later on. This is one of the places very interesting, and this is one of the places what we see that this is also Seder Shenechlak. Asher Nosan Lo Moshe, that's the Reuveni, the Godi, and Lokhu Nachlosom is we learned in Bamidbar, right? The Sefer Bamidbar, and we learned earlier also in Kapitel Yud Beis, right? In the beginning, Kapitel Yud Beis, what we learned, right? Beginning of the Yud Beis, still the thing, what Moshe Rabbeinu gave them, all of this, so not Moshe, when Moshe said, as each one of the Shvatim, and that's the thing. What is it? So now he's telling us, that is, we're starting from the south. So we're starting from the south. We're going up from the south, from the Gvulos, what they are getting. So, Mamlech Sichoin, as we know in the Psukim, what steht in the Psukim? In Pashas Chukas, Ki Arnoin Gvul Moyov, Vein Moyov, Vein Oe Moiri. So this we're starting with this Starting first with this type of gvul. It's the gvul, what's called the Dorim gvul, the gvul adroimi. And we spoke a little bit earlier in Kapitel Yud Beis. What is these places? Vo'ir asher besoich hanachal. We say besoich hanachal. There's many meforshim. We say it was a ir besoich ir. It was surrounded, not surrounded. We spoke a few malachim of this, right? And that's what we say. Ve'aror asher nachal arnoi vo'ir asher besoich hanachal. Ve'chol hamishor meidvo ad divoin. So what is mechol hamishor? Mishor is what we learn in the Psukim, in the beginning of Sefer Dvarim, Eretz HaMishor. Eretz HaMishor, that's Eretz HaMishor. That this is from Cheshboin till Divoin. That's Eretz HaMishor, a flat land, yeah? It's flat. That's Eretz HaMishor, that's from Cheshboin till Divoin. And then we learn also in the Psukim of the Kol Orei HaMishor. Kol Orei HaMishor. This is a place like the... And that what we mentioned over here, we mentioned a few cities of it. For example, Meidva. Meidva is in the north part of the Chelek HaMishor, that's in the south of Har Nevoi. And then we have over there also the Ad Divoin. It gives us over there an idea what is the Nachla of Reuven, Gad, and Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe. Divoin is from this Mishor, what we call this Mishor is Mitzad, the south, that is next to Ar Oirer, that's Al Sfas Nachal Arnoin. And this is what we know, Divoin is next to Arnoin. This is all what's today called in Jordan, not far from Rabat Ammon, in Jordan. And this is all in the, if we look at it today, it's in the east of Yam HaMelech, in that area. In that area, that's the Eretz HaMishor. And that over there, they got the Reuven. Lower than that is Moab, and then Reuven. God. And Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe is much more up in the north. That's what's called Eretz HaGilad. That's where it gets almost to the Bashan. That's in the north. So he's giving us a little bit of understanding. Kol HaMishor Meidvo. Meidvo is in the north, and as we said, the is in the south of this Eretz HaMishor. V'chol pasuk Yud. V'chol orei Sichon melech Moira asher molach b'Cheshbon ad gvul bnei Ammon. Also orei Sichon. This is also in the Mishor that there were, as we can see, Hashem later on, and Yud Zayin that the Cheshbon v'chol oreo Mishor. Cheshboin is the Mishor, again, Cheshboin is in also Eretz HaMishor, but up in the north of Eretz HaMishor. Up north in Eretz HaMishor, we have over there what we call Cheshboin. Cheshboin is, we said that, what is Cheshboin? So Cheshboin, some say that we know Meisha Melech Moav, right? Meisha Melech Moav, as we learned that this is, exactly, he conquered it, he conquered Cheshboin. And already we see over there that we find it even among the Orei Moav. We find it among the Orei Moav, a pasuk in Yeshaya. And we say that that's why it's now Orei Moav, it's the Cheshboin. So we said because Meisha Melech Moav, he's the one that conquered Cheshboin and he took it himself. Ad Gvul Bnei Ammon. What's Ad Gvul Bnei Ammon? That is the border of Mamlech Sichon that we're going now to the east, yeah? So we went to the south, we went to the north, and now to the east. The east that's the Gvul Bnei Ammon. Bnei Ammon, they were in the east. And then we know that Yaboik Nachal, that's Bnei Ammon. It means the Yaboik, right? The Nachal Yaboik, because we know that it pours from south to north. South to north, that's the Nachal Yaboik, and this is, we say that's the, okay. Says the pasuk, right? Ve'agilod u'gvul ha'geshuri v'ha'ma'achosi v'chol har Hermon v'chol ha'boshan ad salcho. So this ve'agilod, the gilod, we have over here two halves in the gilod. We have the Chatzi Gilod, what's the south, and this was also part of the Mamlech Sichon. And then we have the Chatzi Gilod of the north. We spoke about it a few times, that we divide always the gilod into half. The lower half, we call it lower, I mean the south, is what we call Chatzi HaGilod, that's Be'etzem Mamlech HaSichon. And then we have the upper half of Chatzi Gilod, and that's the north, that this is one part of what we learned in the Torah, called Mamlechos Oig. That's Mamlechos Oig, that's in the north. That's in the north. Now, Gvul HaGeshuri VaMa'achoti, this is Eretz HaGeshuri VaMa'achosi, and this is in the north, west of the Bashan, right? If you look at the Yud Beis before, and what we learned in Kapitel Yud Beis pasuk Hey, u'Moshe bar Hermon u'Besalcho u'Bechol HaBashan Gvul HaGeshuri VaMa'achosi. This is exactly, we see that this is up to the north. Yes, so this is mamish what we learned 2 weeks ago, not so long ago, about the Gvul HaGeshuri v'Ma'achosi. Now, what's the ad? Because over here we're saying, right, the ad salcho. Ad salcho. So ad is b'derech klal, as we say, ad ve'ad bichlal. That as we say, v'yeshiv v'kshuru ma'acho b'kerev Yisrael ad hayoyim hazeh. You can see the psukim will talk about this, and this is v'chol har chermoin v'chol haboshon ad salcho. So salcho, what's the salcho? Salcho is in the southeast of Boshon. And as we saw this before, and you'd base also, you'd base capital you'd base pasuk hey, we saw also a gvul sichoy melech heshbon. The same place is what we're speaking about over here. It's also over there. Yeah, lechoyre, it's the same thing. It shouldn't, yeah, it's the same place. I don't know if it's exactly mam, it's the same, but lechoyre, it sounds like the same. It looks like the same thing. Kol mamlechus oig baboshon. That means kol mamlechus. That means, as we know, right? What's mamlechus? We find this lashon where Korah Hashem, it's mamlechus Yisrael, me'olecho. Right? Who tells it? Shaul was told by Shmuel. Shmuel is telling Shaul, right? So that's what means mamlechus. It means like mamleches. Mamleches Yisrael calls mamlechus, right? We also find memsholus. We also say, right? Yisrael mam shelo Yisrael. So mam shelo Yisrael. It's also memsholus. It means the memsholo of Klal Yisrael. Oig, so this will call mamlechus oig baboshon. Oig baboshon. We go back to Yud Beis pasuk Daled. Right? We saw in Yud Beis pasuk Daled again. Gvul oig melech haboshon. This is exactly the same gvul what we spoke about in pasuk Daled. Mamlechus, kol mamlechus oig baboshon. Asher molach be'ashtorois ube'edrei hu nishar miyeser orefoim. That's the lashon of the Torah, right? And we mentioned earlier, we didn't say Hun Nisha, we just said Miyeser Refoim. Gvul Oig, I'm reading out from Yud Beis Daled, we read Gvul Oig Melech HaBoshon, Miyeser Refoim. We don't say Hun Nisha, over here we're adding Hun Nisha, Miyeser Refoim. And over here Rashi brings the whole thing, Shehora Kedel Oimer, Ve'amelochem Asher Itoi, K'mo Shenemar, V'yakos Refoim Ba'ashtarois Karnaim. Over here it doesn't say Hun Nisha, okay. Vayakem Moshe vayoyrishem, and that means the Malchei Moiri, Sichoin Oig, and as we said, the Chagav, we're saying that's what Moshe Rabbeinu done. Velo yoyrishu b'nei Yisrael es hageshuri v'sama achosi. Now he's telling us the first time what the pasuk telling us that there is over there what we called last week, what we call them, how we call them, muvlaot, right? They are swallowed. They're all surrounded by Eden, and we read the psukim last week in the Sefer Shoftim, but there we mamish find it mefurish. And there's the first thing what we find bekerev Yisrael, right? They were mamish bekerev Yisrael. Velo yerishu bnei Yisrael ez hageshuri v'sama achosi vayeshiv geshuru ma'achos bekerev Yisrael ad hayoyim hazeh. That's bekerev Yisrael. That means the arts hageshuri v'ma'achosi. They're all surrounded with, as the psukim later on says, achuzas bnei Yisrael, and that's why we call it bekerev Yisrael. Bekerev Yisrael, what means bekerev Yisrael? They're all surrounded by Eden, and that's what we call bekerev Yisrael. Now, even though, if we look at the psukim, I'm just going to take a midbar. If you look at the psukim over here, also in the psukim of Bamidbar, what we're speaking about, Kianu in Gvul Moyov and Pashas Chukas, and say also, Dvorim, and we don't need more than a Dvorim Bamidbar, that's it. Shkoyach. So, in Devorim, beginning of Devorim, if we look over there, I mean in the beginning of Sefer Devorim, in the end of the Parsha, steht azoi, Ve'yeser hagilo b'chol haboshon mamleches oig nosati lechatzi shevet HaMenashe, kol chevel ha'argoi v'chol haboshon, hahu yikore eretz refoim. Again, it fits very good with what we're learning over here. Just let's try to figure out the things that we're learning over here. It fits with the thing. But then we have a pasuk, in pasuk Yudaled, Kapitel Gimel, in Devorim. We state that Yoyer ben Menashe lokach es kol chevel argoiv ad gvul hageshuri והמעכוסי. ויקרא ישם על שמוי es haboshon chavis yoyer ad hayoim hazeh. The last pasuk before Shvi. The last pasuk before Shvi. So what do you see over in the pasuk? lokach ad Yoyer ben Menashe lokach es kol chevel argoiv ad gvul hageshuri והמעכוסי. So It's mashma that's not the thing. So we're still, they're just telling a fight. It was because it's mashma a little bit different. Yeah, but over here it says that they didn't. It was as we called it, Bekerev Yisrael. Over here the pasuk we see they were Bekerev Yisrael under the mamlechus of this, and he continued to live. He continued to fight with the Geshurim Achosim. And that's pashtus that we see later on. If you look later on in Kapitel Yud Zayin, by us in Yehoshua, Kapitel Yud Zayin Pasuk Aleph. Vayya goyor lemata Menashe, ki hu bechor Yosef lemochir bechor Menashe avi Agilod, ki hu oyo ish milchama vayi lo Agilod ve'abosham. What means ki hu oyo ish milchama? So he kept on fighting. That is oyo ish milchama. He kept on fighting with the Geshuri and Ma'achosi, and he got the lands, but he couldn't be moirishet. And that means, as you said, ad ve'ad bichlal, right? Ad ve'ad bichlal, and thing. So it's not, but yeah, okay. And he was they know, and after that he tells them, yeah, well, being a bit more of a thing in the psukim over here. Right, and Moshe bnei God and Reuven, es mamlechas Sichon melech Moav, es mamlechas Oig melech Bashan. Even bnei God is Divoy, es Atoris, es Aroyer, es Atoris Shoifon, Atoroi Shoifon, es Yazer, Yogbeho. The question is, why is it Mocher ben Menashe? Why have to have this whole power to here? It's nothing to do with Yeshua. This will happen before we came on the scene. This is like Agdoma, yeah. This is like Agdoma. We say first of all, Vayit and Moshe Taka. And we can see also now. We see over here also now, we can see all of it is Vayit and Moshe. But that we knew from the Torah. Till the end of Kapitel Yudalet. But we knew from the Torah. Yeah, so this is, so the first thing to say, because we want to show that this is the Chalukas Oretz is a Hemshech. Yeshua is Mamish a Hemshech of what Moshe Rabbeinu started. Mamish a Hemshech. Until Kapitel Yudalet, we can see all of this is basically what Moshe Rabbeinu, Pasuk Yudalet, Rak Leshevet Halevi, Lo Yinosa Nachalo Ishe Hashem, Elokei Yisrael Hu Nachalosoi, Kasher Diber Loi. And Rak Shevet Levi, and Shevet Levi is including the Koyanim, Bnei Aaron. He didn't give a nachla, right? Obel, as we know, if we look at the psukim in the beginning of, if we look at the psukim of Chanan, so we know that what that he gave them what he gave what he did give them. So steht dabei mefurash. Oh, Yavdil Moshe, Shalosh Shomim Bevayadim Yizocho Shemesh, right? And that's what's the Loinos Anachlo Obel Lonu Shomo Itzeach, and he gave them this. This thing as we see over in Kapitel in Shlishi in Veschanon and Shlishi. Yes, we can see it. Yeah, but we're trying to now. I'm trying to figure out what Moshe said to find over here the Mekor in the Torah. Everything what we find over here to see, and it actually has to fit with the Psukim in the Torah. Later on, we see it also as well. That's later. Yes, that we can see. Yeah, that's we can see before. Okay, that's what Moshe Rabbeinu didn't give them because that was an Eretz Yisrael. We're talking about the ones that Moshe Rabbeinu gave. The one that Moshe Rabbeinu is Oz Yavdin Moshe Shalosh Shorim Be'er Yaden. Yeah, the Miklo. So even though Loi Nosan Nachlo, as we see over here that the Shevet Levi did not get the Nachlo, Obel, then we said Oz Yavdin Moshe Shalosh Shorim Be'er Yaden. That's the Orei Miklo, the Never Yaden. Obel, he didn't give it yet to the Levim, as we find over there, right? Only the Torah, right? The state also before us, we said that he didn't give it to the Levim. When he gave it to the Levim, afterwards, and this is Parshas Masei. In Parshas Masei, we learn over there in the Psukim that over there when we talk about the Orei Levim, steht azoi, ve'esorim asher titnu lelevim lamedhei vov b'midbar. Parshas Masei, just before Shishi, 2 Psukim before Shishi. Ve'esorim asher titnu lelevim sheish Orei Miklo asher titnu lonu shomer oitzeach ve'alev titnu 42 ir. And this, when he's giving it to him, much later. Right, the state of in the Psukim much later because the Torah told the Klal Yisrael to give the Levim only the after the Chalukas Oretz. The state v'nachlas achuzosom. That's the lashon of the Torah over there in the Parshas Masei. V'nachlas achuzosom. Once they get the nachlas achuzosom, only then you divide. They gave the Levim what they get the Orei Miklot or me'achuzas b'nei Yisrael ishkefi nachlosoi ha'in chaluyiten me'orov halalevim. Steht unter der Post. So, Rak l'shevet Halevi lo yinosa nachlo, Ishe Hashem Elokei Yisrael. What that means? The korbanos. The korbanos that they have a chelik gavoya, right? And this is Zeh yelecho mikodesh hakadoshim, minoesh kol korbanom. This is what we learned. This is the Psukim tell us over there that this is what the Shevet Levi, so that's what they have the thing, and that's the 24 matonos what the Kohanim get, that's the chelik what they get. Hu nachalosoi, kasher diber loi. Hu nachalosoi, that's the nachlo that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him, the matnos kone, and state over there, right, if we look in the Psukim, and when we talk about the matonos, so let's go. It's also, we have a Sefer Bamidbar, so let's open up inside and see the matonos in the end of Pashas Koirach. When we look at the Psukim and the end of Pashas Koirach, wo steht dort, azoi, Kol Trumas HaKodshim, asher yorimu bnei Yisrael Hashem, nosati lecho, ulevonecho, ulivnoisecho itoch, lecho koilom bris melach oilom lifnei Hashem, lecho ulezaracho itoch. So we see over here in Mefurish that what? That this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the nachlo of, that's what the nachlo of. Vayomer Hashem el ha'arim ba'arzov lo yitinchol, v'chelek lo yelecho b'toichom, ani chelkecho v'nachaloscho b'soich bnei Yisrael. Just the last passage before Shvi and Pashas Koirach. Yeah, that. So we see that it's it fits very good the lashon over in Sefer Yehoshua with the lashon in the Torah. What we see, hu nachalosoi. That's the nachalo what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them. The Levim also get. The Levim get kol ma'asav Yisrael nachlo chelef avoidosam asher em oyudim es avoidas oyel moyed. Yeah, I'm just reading weiter the psukim over there in the Shvi. Pasuk Chof Aleph. Livnei Levi nenasati kol ma'asav bnei Yisrael nachlo chelef avoidosam asher em oyudim es avoidas oyel moyed. Again, that's the psukim of Pashas Koirach. So the Levim, the Kohanim, they get the nachlo they get the asher diber loi, and the HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to Aaron HaKohen, and lo yeh, as we said before, and lo yeh nachlo chelek, that's what they get. That's asher diber loi, that's the nachlo what they got. And these psukim, again, as we've seen, that the chelek of this land was the Nachlas Tishas Hashvotim v'chatzi Shevet Menashe. So I just before we go weiter to Zvov, we're going back a little bit what we read in Pasuk Zion, what we just started the shir. Ve'ato chaleik, right? It says it's always azois v'nachalo letishas hashvotim v'chatzi hashevet hamenashe. Chatzi Shevet hamenashe. There's a medrash, the medrash in Shmois Rabbe, Parshas Beshalach, Parsha Chof. Says the medrash. Yehoshua ben Levi, Omar, Moshe lemelech. This is a Moshe lemelech. Moshe lemelech, Shoyoloi Yud Beis Bonim, Ve'oloi Yud Asiyos. I think it says over there, right? He has over there 10 portions. He has 12 kids. Ve'oloi Yud Oisiyos, Oisiyos with the samach. The melech says, "What the melech? Now you can't give it, right? Omar melech, im etein oison levonai nimtzani oisa b'nei merivo." There's going to be a fight because you are giving 10 portions to 12 kids. There's going to be a fight. Eloharini mamtin at she'ekne, that what? Oich I'm going to buy another 2 oisios. Oisios is another 2 lands. And v'achar kach echalkem, then I'm going to divide it b'neihem. That's the moshel. Says the Medrash, kach omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the same thing HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, im ani machnison achshav lo'oretz, there's no enough for Yud Beis Shvotim Chaluka, Elareini Me'akmon Babitbol, and after Yehoshua till they're going to yash also the Ever Hayarden, this Ever Hayarden, and then Bnei Gad Bnei Reuven Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe, they get the Chelek, and then Ve'achar kach ani machnison lo'oretz. That's what stated in the Medrash. What do we see in this Medrash? That Eretz Yisrael cannot get divided into more than 10 Chalokim. They state in Medrash. Right? And they state in Medrash. The Medrash says the Madav Adoime. Oh, so in the Medrash it says 10. If we take, exactly. But in the Medrash, what we see in the Medrash is Klal Yisrael, Moshe Madav Adoime, that Klal Yisrael cannot divide. They can't divide Eretz Yisrael more than 10 Chalokim. And if they wouldn't actually conquer Ever Hayarden, let's say there was no Kibush for Ever Hayarden, so 2 Shvotim wouldn't get the Chelek in Eretz Yisrael. And also says in the Medrash that what even without we know we read in the Psukim, right? So what we read in the Psukim that God of Reuven came to Moshe Rabbeinu and they said that we have lots of Mikne and we Mikne Rav Lohem and so we see that even without the Shaila of God of Reuven to get the Ever Hayarden, we would get the 2 Shvotim. So I said Rina Sitz reflect on the Ramban. The Ramban says in Parshas Chukas that he says that maybe, and he talks about over there, it says that, read it inside, we have it over here in front of us. Straight over there, in Pashas Chukas, when we speak about Dr. Azoy, that if Bnei Reuven and Bnei Gad wouldn't take, he's talking about the Legabi, Vaishlach Yisrael, Malochim, and Sichon, Melech, Moiri, Leimoir, Hebron, Be'artzecho, the end of Parshas Chukas. The end of Parshas Chukas. So the Ramban said that if Bnei Gad, it's a long Arichas of it, but he said that if Bnei Gad, Bnei Reuven would not take the Chatzi Shevet, would not ask for Eretz Sichon and Oig, so he would leave it Bechorovo. Doctor, Aloi Tire, I'm going to read from inside. Aloi Tire, it's in the middle of a shtickle, it starts with Davar, but Aloi Tire, שאם לא יביקשו ממנו בני גד ובני ראובן, לא יהיו מניח שום אודום, אלו שתהיה לחור בו. וכך שונים בספרי, לא סס לנו, פרט לב הירדן שנטלתו מעצמך. That's what the Ramban said. So what do we see over here? That this was, he would put all the Yud Beis Shvatim way from Evayad and then weiter. So now, from the Medrash is mashma that Eretz Yisrael could not have chaluk at the 10 thing, verkehrt.
Also, what's the point of Charova?
And also 9. What for? They asked it to leave it the post lady Chorba. I tell you, this is a Ramban. This is a Ramban. I'm not so clear about this. But this is a Ramban. The Ramban, I'm jumping to Pashas Matos. So there we're talking about Negod of Neroven. Steht da so. The pasuk says, "Vayiten lo Moshe lebnei Gad ubnei Reuven lachatzi shevet Menashe, shevet Menashe." Sorry about that. Hey, Ben Yosef es mamleches Sichon melech Moiri, es mamleches Oig melech Bashan, Oretz Oreo b'gvulo Yisrael Oretz Sovi. Says the Ramban, "Lachatzi shevet Menashe Ben Yosef." Look at that. Mitchilo lo yibou lefono shevet Menashe. אבל כאשר חילק האורץ לשני השבטים, ראובן וגד, ראש שהיא ארץ גדול לו יויסו מן הרוי. It's big, יויסו מן הרוי להם. וביקש מי שירצה להסנח אל עמהם. והיו אנושים משבט מנשה שירצו בו. אולי אנשי מקנה היו, ונוסה להם חלקם. So why דווקא לחצי? בטעם לחצי, חלק מהם, וכן עוז יכול לקרום לישראל לחצי, חצי יום היו אחרי טיבני בן גינס להמליכוי, וחצי אחרי עומרי, ובילת המלוכים. ואוין כי בני מנשה היו שמוינו בוטי אובויס. This gives us a little bit of an idea what we spoke in the beginning before the share with Michael. שמונו בוטו ככוס בפרשת הפקודים, ומשפחת המוכירי, ומשפחת הגילודי, יורשו בארץ הזויס, כי היו אנשי חיל, ולא קדו איסו לעצמם, ונוסע להם חלק רב מהם, ושיש המשפחות עוברו אס הירדן, 6 out of 8. תכסי בישוע, ויהי לבני מנשה, נויסור למשפחות לבני אביעזר, that's what we spoke from thing, ולבני חלק, ולבני אשרי, ולבני שכם, ולבני חיפר, ולבני שמידו. וזהו מה שכוסף שם, ויפלו חבלי מנשה עשור לבד מארץ הרגילות, והבושר שמעבר לירדן. והטעם כי עוש מן אורץ 9 חלוקים שומים ל9 סלמטוס. ולא יאכלו לא עושה למנתה מנשה, נויסור עם חלק שולם, ולא יחצי חלק, כי רובם נשארו. והנה עושו מן השבט כולי חלוקים, ומוצאו כי עשיריס השבט לבד נאכלו בארץ הבושר, וארץ יודש נשארו. So basically over here we see that the land was divided into, again, as we're saying over here, to 9 or into 10. Interesting. And even the Ramban himself, later on, I'm skipping a little bit, but he brings later on, that means in Dvarim we see, Pira shenosan lachatzi shevet menashe chelek b'fnei atzmo, kol chelev ha'argoiv, as we find, lechol ha'boshon. והנה קיצה בתורה, שלא ירוצו להזכיר בו חלוקת השניים, כאשר לא יזכיר בו חלוקת השאר השבטים. אבל סעיף יהושע אומר בביאור, כי מוישה חילק להם, וכסיב, וייתן מוישה למטה בני ראובן למשפחות ישראל, ויהי להם הגבול. This is the pasuk we must Hashem are going to start now, and pasuk tezvav. So this is our shlome, as the Ramban understands in Parshas Matos. This is mamash our shlome to what we said over there, and also וייתן מוישה למטה יגוד למשפחות ישראל, ויהי הגבול. It's also in capital Yud Gimel when you see in pasuk Chov Daled and the pasuk Chov Tes, וייתן מוישה לחצי שבט המנשה למשפחות ישראל וגבולם. What we know was not brought under the Torah. So it's a little bit about shlome, the thing. No, so it's not really a stira because.
That he would lift it, could have done it in 10 portions to 12, and in other places.
No, so he doesn't speak about this then. We have this, the Medrash. The Medrash is the Bishver. Yes. You're right, the Medrash. From the Medrash, yeah. Now, Lichoire, when we're talking about the Reuveni, the Godi, Lokhu Nachlosam, right, the Pasuk Ches, we said, Reuveni, the Godi, Lokhu Nachlosam, they didn't yet take the Nachla because part of the tonight they go to Bnei Reuven. Part of the agreement was, when Kol Yemei Chiluk and Kol Yemei Kibush, Kol Yemei Kibush, when they didn't yet conquer Eretz Yisrael, they didn't get the Chayilek. They didn't get Chelek. We're talking about Hashem Asi, that they will, when they will get it, then they will get the Chelek and Eretz Yisrael. But it's not the same thing.
But they didn't make a deal. They didn't. Huh?
We didn't finish the Kibush Eretz Yisrael. They did not make it at night. They were not making it at night. They did at night. But then the thing, the Menashe came only later. Yeah. Lefi the Ramban. We just saw the Ramban and the Matis, right? The Ramban said that they came only later, the Shevet Menashe, when they saw that the land is so big, so they came only later. So yeah. We don't know. The night was very good. It fits very good with the Ramban. The Briskerov in Parshas Matos explained that when they crossed the Yarden, so it was shaykh to the whole Klal Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael itself could have been divided into 12 halakim. And that's why it says, so then there was Zeicher already in the Nachlo after the Shiva Shekovshu, even before the Chalukah itself. Yeah, so basically the Briskerov explains that even though that Kibush, as we look at it, Kibush Kolor, only then it was more than the Sheva Shekibshu and Sheva Shechilku. But the Kibush of Sheva Shekibshu, yeah, that was enough to be Mekadesh Eretz Yisrael. And Mimele, Bnei God, Bnei Reuven, don't need only this Kibush. They need only the 7 years. They don't need also the Chalukah, right? And this is basically what we learn also in Parshas Matos. If you look at Parshas Matos in the agreement, what they have in between the two, what they say over there, ונich בשעורץ לפני השם, ואחר תשובו. Says the Briskerov, ונich בשעורץ. They don't have any more to do with the Chalukah, the Gmar Kibush. Once they do, ונich בשעורץ. ויאמר אליהם מוישה אם תעשה את הדבר הזה, I'm reading in Shvi, in Parshas Matos. Once, ואהובה לכם כל חולץ הסייד לפני השם עד היריש הישראל במפרנוב, ונich בשעורץ לפני השם, ואחר תשובו וישם נקים מהשם וישראל, וישראל עשה יש לכם לאחוז לפני השם. Once there's only a Kibush, that's already ונich בשעורץ לפני השם ואחר תשובו. And that means once the kibush is chal, that's it. It's enough for them to be zoiche and lefi them. That's what the pasuk says. Kasher nosa lehem Moshe eved Hashem. That's what the tnai. Yeah. And it lokhu chalek. It's already lokhu. Yeah. That's what it's doing. And that's also very good. Kasher nosa lehem Moshe eved Hashem. Also the end of the pasuk is very meduyek. Kasher nosa lehem Moshe eved Hashem. Let's see the psukim and weiter. Tosvot. Then we're going to speak about Shevet Levi. There's many things to speak, as you noticed already. We spoke a little bit about Shevet Levi. Okay, let's see the psukim. Pasuk Tezvav. Vayiten Moshe lemat bnei Reuven lemishpachosim. This is the Shlome. What is the Ramban told us that over here was Mekatzel, right? Over here was Mekatzel, and over here is Marich, as the Ramban says in the Parshas Matos. Over here is Marich. What was the Chalukah of Shevet Reuven? God, Chatzi Shevet HaMenashe. Vayidem Moshe lemat bnei Reuven lemishpachosim. What did he give over there lemishpachosim? And bnei Reuven, Moshe Rabbeinu itself was mechalek, right? This the chelek, lemishpachosim, and that's what we see over there. The Torah says, "Ve'isnachaltem es haaretz begoyrol lemishpachoseichem lematis avoseichem tincholu lematis avoseichem tincholu." And the mishpachos are what we call over there the shvatim. What we learn in right over there, we see it also in Parshas. All of the so we see over here what was the mishpachos. Let's count the mishpachos over there of the shvatim. So we're gonna have to go push it in Parshas Pinchas. Start over there after the Shimon, the mishpachos, the Nemuel, mishpachas Nemuel. Which one of the mishpachos over there? Straight after the mice of Bnei Korach. Yeah, Kapitel Chavav and Parshas Pinchas. We have over there exactly the mishpachos. So that's the mishpachos sum. That's the mishpachos what we see. Now, the Torah didn't tell us exactly the nachla of Reuven and God, because Moshe Rabbeinu gave them the nachla al Tanai. Im yavru, v'nich b'shorot zifneichem, u'nesatem lo'eh seretz hagilod le'achuzo, right? Ve'im lo'i. Now, this is part of the things that Moshe Rabbeinu gave them be'al peh, right? As we see in the beginning of Dvorim, that this is part of the things what Moshe Rabbeinu gave them be'al peh, the land. Ve'yi lo'hem ha'gvul. What's the gvul? The nachlo of me'ar oirer asher al tzfas nachal arnoin, v'oir asher besoich hanachal. We spoke many times what the besoich hanachal. V'chol ha'mishar al meidvo. There is the nachalo of Shevet Reuven. Me'ar oirer, again, that's going to be as we spoke before, and that's going to be the south of Mamlechet Sichon. And this is also the south of Nachlas Bnei Reuven. V'chol ha-misher ad meidva. This misher is also meidva and also including meidva. And as we're going to see Met Hashem later on, right? And Kapitel Chof Gimel, we can see also it says over there, Ori v'chatzerein. So it's also part of meidva, not only meidva. And al means also, right, means next to, right? Where do we see that al means also next to? We see many times, right? Ve'olov, Matei Menashe. We see many times that word, anything. And the Gemara darshan that, the Gemara Mefush, the Gemara in Soita, Daf Lamed Zayin, Lamed Aleph, al says the Gemara besamuch. Besamuch lo. The Gemara big stack ve'olov, Matei Menashe. Cheshboin, v'chol oreo, Pasuk Zayin. Cheshboin, v'chol oreo, asher b'misher, divoin, That means Cheshboin was the capital of Sichon, and this is sitting where it's sitting in the north of the Mishal. If we're going back to the Mishal, the north, and we're going to see also later on in Kapitel Chof Aleph, what we both mentioned beforehand. Kapitel Chof Aleph, we're going to see that also this, what's the tchum of this? It also was in Reuven, right? But the city itself was B'chelik God. Over here was the border between God and Reuven. That even though, as we find, if we look at the psukim, who built it? Who built it? So let's read the psukim in the Torah. The Torah says over there, oh, they are good. As we says the pasuk, Ubnei Reuven banu es Cheshboin, es El Eilo, es Kiryosoim. We see that who built it? Banu es Cheshboin. Bnei Reuven, even that they built it, as he said, the Chol Oreo, the everything that's included in Cheshboin. It's also included the Oreo. As we find that's the okay. Divine is also the Mishra. That's in the south of Cheshboin. Bnei God built it, and they done it in Ta'ir Mivtzo. And they built Gidol Tzoyin. We find beforehand, right? We saw it beforehand. And there's based team or there's based or a Mivtzo, but Gidol Tzoyin. But even Bnei God built it. If you look at Parshas Matos, yeah, it's a Filoche. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gave it after that to Reuven. They built it on their behalf, and they gave it after that to Shevet Reuven. Yeah, but some say that actually this is divine God. Divine God. If we look at the in Parshas Masei, by the Masois, so we see over there actually. We do see over there, and let me read you the pasuk inside. Straight over there, so Vayisu mi divine God, Vayachnu be'almoi divlosoimo. So you see that there was a place what's called Vayisu me'im, Vayachnu be'divine God. So there is a place what's called divine God. It could be it's two different divines. It was a divine God. So it could be that this divine is I don't know what we're doing. Pashtus, they built it for them because we do see that also Reuven built the Cheshboin, right? Reuven built Cheshboin, and they built it and then they gave it. But the Torah didn't say like a tchila, the gvul between the two shvatim. What we're talking about is one nachlo, because the Tnai was what Bnei God, Bnei Reuven. If we look at the Psukim also, the Tnai was one Tnai, Bnei God, Bnei Reuven. And then Me'ar Oirer, Asher, right, Asher al Nachal Chanoin, the half of the, what we see over there, right? And let's take the Psukim and what we said before, and Parshas Devorim. When the Parshas Devorim we find over here, Yirah going Melech HaBoshon, ואסורת הזו ישורשנו בו ישאי מהרוער אשר על נחל ארנוי וחצי הרגילות ואורוב נוסעתי לראובני ולגודי. See, we're giving it all together, we're including it all together, and then we're going Bomois Baal. What's Bomois Baal? So Bomois Baal, as we know, Bomois Baal is a place what's in a high place in Eretz Moav, what was called Bomois Baal. And where do we find Bomois Baal? Also in the Psukim. So we do find it if you look at the Psukim in Parshas Bolok. We find over there that Bolok, big thing, it says over there, he goes up, right? He's going up to Bomois Baal. In Kapitel Chof Beis, in Parshas Bolok, Kapitel Chof Beis, Pasuk Mem Aleph, the last thing. Vayiba Boiker, Vayikach Bolok is Bilon, Vayaleyu, Bomois Baal, Vayar, Mishom, Ketzeyo Om. This is the Bomois Baal, for the same Bomois Baal. It fits very good with the Psukim. And let's just finish a little bit of Psukim. Bomois Baal, as we said, that's Bomois Baal. And right, Klal Yisrael, when they are on Arvo Yismoyo, Mever Leyad and Yerechoi, as we find over there, and it's called why Baal? Because they were even the Baal over there. Right? And we find over there the Shiras HaMoishlim, we find over there Bomois Baal. Beis Baal Me'oin. What's Baal Me'oin? This Baal Me'oin, find that Bnei Reuven also built it, and that's what we learned over there. Musa Boisham, right? The Musa Boisham, that's the Bnei Reuven, also call it Be'oin, right? And that's the And we find the Zohar, what we call in the Sefer Yirmiyahu, Mezigo shel Beis Me'oin. Right? Mezigo shel Beis Me'oin in the thing. Afal Piken, they did call it the earlier thing, what we call Baal Me'oin, as we find that Meisha Melech Moav, he took it from Klal Yisrael and he gave it back this place the original name, what's called Beis Baal Me'oin. That's what he called it. And think, okay. Gemara Sanhedrin said Yehoshua ben Nun done two shvuos. One, shouldn't build Yericho and don't build a different city and call it Yericho. Gemara said that Yehoshua built a different city and call it Yericho. Let's just see a few things. V'yatzo v'keid mois u meifoas. Yatzo is the name.
The place really called Yohat.
So Yatzo. Let's just read it and then we're gonna. I don't want to go thing. Oh, very good. And this is because, he's right, because there is twice in Tanakh, Sai Yeshaya, Sai Nehemiah, a place that's called Yohetz. And this is Yohetz. This place is Yohetz. It's not Yatzo. Yeah, no, so then let me go. Yatzo is Yohetz. That's it.
Yeah, listen, the Torah very short. It goes Elim, Elimo, Machanaimo, Mitzrayim, Libratayim, Yerushalayim. There's all these examples.
No, we do see. If you look at Pasas Chukas, Veloi Nosan, Sichoi Nes Yisrael, Avoy Begvuloi. Vayesef Sichoi Es Kol Amoi, Vayetzi Likras Yisrael Hamidboro, Vayovoi Yotzo, Vaylochem BeYisrael. That's Yotzo.
No, pastors there means Yohat.
Yotzo. Before over here, before is
what is the learn?
that is
Mitzrayim or means
Ibn Ezra. Let me read Ibn Ezra. Yehotzo el Yohatz. Yahatz. No. Okay, we're gonna finish up over here. Imagine Hashem next week in thing. Okay, yeah, but this is Yohatz. But look at okay, so we're gonna have to finish over here. I go to Shkoyach. Call it.